It was, and still is, one of the most powerful symbols of war. 100 years ago, the tank brought a new dimension to the battlefield. It helped determine the outcome of the First World War. And it's gone on to shape a century of conflict. 100 years ago, 8 men would have been crammed inside this tank. The fumes from this engine would have been overwhelming. There was no suspension, so the men would have felt every single bump. And while the armoured plating would have guarded them against bullets, it didn't protect them against everything else outside. The early tanks were a huge propaganda success, striking fear beyond enemy lines. Recent incarnations of the tank have the same aim, are as big and bulky as ever, but offer more speed and more protection.
When you're driving down a road or across a desert, an open plain, in a vehicle such as Challenger 1 behind me, which is 60 plus tonnes with a 120mm main gun on it, and you've got a full bomb load on board of 52 rounds of ammunition, you are king of the road. There are very few vehicles out there that are able to stop you.
A century after it made its debut, the symbolism of the tank is just as potent, depending on your viewpoint. It's a symbol of oppression, invasion or liberation, used not only by governments on the battlefield, but also by governments against the people.
Even though we've predicted its demise consistently, for some peculiar reason, we find we can still use them in these different types of warfare that's going on. It may well go the way of aeroplanes. The future may bring unmanned tanks, they may bring smaller tanks, electric drive, lots of different technologies will go there. But that fundamental need for something that's got firepower, protection and mobility is bound to be there again in the future.
With conflict still raging around the world, the tank's place in the future, for now at least, seems secure. Emma Hayward, Al Jazeera in Bovington in southwest England.